This is exciting. We haven't talked about
moved.
Yeah. I feel like you just experienced something.
You got him a Star is Born.
You just had a spiritual awakening.
Yes.
Oh man, shit! I don't know what episode number we're at.
219.
Oh, I'm not gonna figure it out. You know, I'll get it
pull
by
up.
next.
Pull
Really?
it up.
How?
For the podcast app.
What podcast app do you use?
Stitcher.
Podcast. That's why I get our podcast.
Yeah, but how are you gonna know the number?
Because it goes in order.
No, but it'll list all like the sub podcasts
We don't put
and everything.
Yeah.
We don't put it in the title,
Oh,
so you have to listen.
Fuckers.
Listen to that last week's cast. Actually, okay, and then you have to skip forward like about a minute because I started it. You did hear the start of the episode?
Because there's the
last
retros.
episode. Oh,
But our last week's
Morpheus
episode,
trailer.
you
It's the
I like the
Dark Phoenix
very
one.
start of it. Yeah.
First 5 seconds, the horse's testicles.
He wants his distance from. No.
Listen for the intro.
Oh boy.
It's coming,
I
fam.
love that music.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 218th.
Okay, good.
I fucking called it.
Hello,
I'm a
ladies
professional
and gentlemen,
podcaster.
and welcome to the
Yeah.
219th episode of the GeekVerse podcast. I'm
Or
making
steps.
sure we're streaming because we made all the. Hey, our Star is Born review doing very well. Cheap plug, go check that out. I am the Venom boy. Trust now.
Venom boy.
Venom boy. Jeez, I should have thought of a name.
Mhm.
I am the. Fuck.
I'm the Adam Hartcaster.
I'm the loser, Taylor Fields.
Oh boy.
I'm the should have thought of a name, Kirkland Patzer.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not guessed, and you probably can't because of these nicknames are.
No, yours was.
Yours is pretty.
Yeah, I guess.
I was
so.
gonna do a
Yours.
spoiler one, and then I pulled back.
Yeah, so.
Pretty bad spoiler.
Well, I thought you said his was a spoiler.
Venom boy, there's a Venom boy in this. So we are here to review and discuss in a spoiler fashion Venom. Before we get into that, some plugs to get away. Me and Dylan Musk, we reviewed A Star is Born last night. Check that out.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah, award season's here, so we're gonna be doing a lot more of those type of independent festival darling movies. But yeah, we both loved it. Go listen to hear why you should go see it. What else dropped? There may be a newscast dropping this weekend just because there's just tons of news coming out. Supposedly, it seems like Aquaman's gonna get second trailer tomorrow, so that's gonna be huge. And we've got the Mandalorian TV show and it's a bunch of stuff. Oh, I'm so mad. There's something big happening. I can't remember. Not
It's
something
the same thing as you can't remember the third trailer at the start of it.
Yeah. Taylor, what trailers did you get with Venom?
We got Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. That was a no one.
Of course.
trailer.
Thank you.
That's
Taylor.
what I'd forget. Yeah.
That was the
and
one we
Glass
did.
and Spider-Verse, right?
Glass and Spider-Verse.
Yeah. It's bugged me the whole night. But you know what's not bugging me? November 3rd, our 24-hour Extra Life charity stream. We are trying to raise $1,000. If you do that, Taylor, Tyler Briggs, and myself are going to be shaving your head, or you might get Ruben too. Either way, 3 people are shaving their heads. It's going to be a wild night. We got tournaments. Hunka, the DC lovers are dropping in. Rod or not, you guys got some special stuff planned. We got title matches. We got a whole shebang event. So the link is down below so you can go donate. Please like or share or spread that link because
Spread
one,
that link.
we want you to come. We want you to come.
You don't want to miss that 4 a.m. slot either. That's a prime time.
Yeah, but we want
Weird
you.
things happen.
We want.
Weird things
Oh yeah, we want you to come
Like
watch.
Godzilla and
But
Sneak
at the
Peek.
same time, if you can donate a penny, 10 cents, $1, $5, $100, whatever it is, it would help because it all goes towards BC Children's Hospital. It's tax deductible, so everything you donate will go there. And please help us. Last year we hit our goal. We get to our goal is 500. We got $50 past that, so I'd love to do that
You can
again.
essentially launder money into the donation because it's non-taxable. So.
I'm not going to suggest that. It's completely legal. But and if you cannot donate, please in the next few months, and especially November 3rd, just like I said, spread that link because maybe someone can donate and it just helps. So yeah, I'm going to be pimping that out for next month, but it's for an important cause. So excuse me. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Taylor, do you have anything dropping in the next maybe in a week or so?
Yeah, when the time presents itself, there will be a review for Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
Woo!
which actually releases publicly tomorrow
Publicly.
or today. If you're listening
Taylor
to
got
this tomorrow.
exclusive beta
He's
game.
got the ins with
himself.
you.
I
He's
know,
$12.
Ubisoft is like, oh, you spent $150 on that gold edition, we're gonna give it 3 days early.
Individually.
You got 5
they-
That's a
they-
price tag right there.
Oh
Jeez,
yeah.
it is, man.
Cheese whiz.
And check out all our spin-off shows. We got lots of great stuff happening. But you know what's great? Or maybe it's not. Venom. I want to hear from Taylor Field first because
I do.
for the fans, we did not see this with Taylor Field. I want to give a quick backstory. He said he was going to be late so he'd make it to the 7:30 show. He's telling me this exclusively. And I said, hey, maybe you should let the other guys know as well. And he went, why? And I said, well, why not? They're also on the podcast. And I called it. I said to Dylan, I said, watch, he's going to message us when our movie's already started. And then when I turned the phone after the movie, 7:29, this fucker said, oh, hey, guys, I'm going to be a little late to the review. I knew
and then he said, Travis told me to say.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that. Why couldn't you just tell them? Everyone just expects me to fucking sheep herd of this podcast.
Okay,
you know?
to be fair, Jessica messaged me, okay, saying, tell everyone I'm not going to be able to make it to podcasts. And I told you that. And you had a little bit of a beef about it. You're like, oh, I don't know why Jessica just messaged me this so I could tell everyone.
But then you did the same thing Jessica did.
Yeah, it makes no sense, right? Because it's just as easy to do that as it is to go to the GeekVerse chat and say, hey guys, I'm going to be late.
Everybody can see.
Well, you made a beef about it with Jessica, so...
I'm
like,
saying,
okay.
So why are you perpetuating the beef?
This was my difference. My difference was if you could only tell one person, if she had one text to send, would it be to Taylor or to me? It
was to you.
No, it was to you. And then it went to me. So
Well,
my situation was like, I should get that first and then you.
But we were in mid-conversations, like, I'll just throw it in there.
Oh, you're kind of
You're like, where are those thumbnails at? Like, oh...
I need the thumbnails.
Oh boy, when was the last time we did a review this late? I think Infinity War, honestly, and you...
Last night.
Oh yeah, we were last night, yeah. Taylor, what do you think? Because we did not see this movie with you, so...
First of all, seeing the 3D totally changes the
that
perspective.
Dylan called it. You weren't actually late, you wanted to see in 3D.
We knew it the whole time.
How packed was your theater? Our theater is like almost sold out.
Well,
I think it might have been sold out.
The only row available I could get was fucking row E.
The row we were in?
Yeah,
the
so
row
I
that's
had to
too
get,
close.
I had to get row E, and that being said, I had to get to the side a little bit.
By the way, there are exits in the front of the theater,
I
asshole.
wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
I think it's like a legal
Asshole.
thing.
Yeah, but he called me on the chat. He's like, no, that's not a thing.
I said some don't, some do. I didn't say all theaters didn't.
I don't think
look it up right now.
I'm gonna look
but
it
anyway,
up.
so I had to sit to the side of row E, but then the middle of row E was completely sold out. But throughout the whole movie, it was completely empty. All 10 seats were
Did
empty.
you move in?
No, I didn't want to take the chance.
Oh, no.
Opening night for the Meg. Me and Travis did. But
Okay, here it is. Man, DC fans are fucking losers. By the way, no theaters have front entrance.
I'm pretty sure I didn't say that. You can or cannot prove those.
You didn't say not all. You didn't say some. You said not all. So fair
Not
enough.
all,
But
yeah.
I don't think that's true. I think majority of them do.
Taylor, what do you think of this
Venom,
movie?
yeah, please.
The beginning definitely was a little
Non-spoilers, by the way. We'll
little
let you know when we
slow.
get into spoilers.
little slowish, but eventually as it kickstarted, I really just dived into this movie head on. I was just enjoying it. I loved a lot of the banter. I loved a lot of the action. I loved it. You know, honestly, I'll get into more
Three
about
loves.
it.
I counted three.
Loved it.
He's never done it before.
He's gonna be on the fucking Blu-ray cover.
Loved it.
Loved it. Taylor Field,
Dude,
Geeks
it
podcast.
I honestly
Fantastic.
I was in. I'll give you the rundown. So I was
Give
in
me the
class
rundown.
today, and I was thinking, oh gosh, I'm gonna learn about some Adobe stuff. I'm thinking, oh wow, I'm gonna get out of class like in the afternoon. What am I gonna do today? Like, oh, I got a movie I gotta see today. I'm gonna see Venom. I totally forgot about this movie actually coming out today.
Great
I was not excited for this movie. And then I was off doing my.
You have a wild internal dialogue. I must
Yeah,
say.
and especially in this movie. There's two Taylors.
We are Taylor.
I feel like you were excited for this movie.
A little bit ago, but then it kind of
Come
a
on,
little
Travis.
bit
It's over.
life sets in, and you get distracted, and like, oh, Venom's coming out. And I'm like, okay, so I was going along, and then,
It happens.
I was doing my own thing, and then it was like an hour before 7:15, and I was like, wow, Venom is actually gonna play. Like,
I'm late.
I'm late, so what am I gonna
Better
do?
text Travis.
Maybe we should text Travis. Maybe we should just go see the 7:30. We'll go see the 7:30. So we went and saw the 7:30 instead.
Okay, what do you think about the movie?
Oh, it's good.
So when you say we, were you with someone, or is that just like your alter
He's
ego?
taking this
Me
on.
and Madison. Me and Madison.
Okay.
But I thought I'd throw it in there. Just
Oh
to
yeah,
kinda-
no, I liked it. I appreciate it.
I respect.
So you like the movie?
I loved it.
Okay.
I loved
Finger
it.
guns.
I don't know. You can't get any higher than that. I was thinking there was like a 5% chance that you hated
Me and
this movie.
Dylan
No.
were predicting. I was like, man, I feel like this is a Taylor movie for sure. Like, I think.
I was on that bandwagon.
And
My
then-
kid's gonna
yeah,
love
I
this
hate
movie.
it.
I kind of figured like maybe you actually would like it, but you'd kind of just shit on it because you know we all like Spider-Man. You want to just like stir the pot a little bit. Or
No,
something.
I mean if Bullseye just was like,
Like
never
Sony,
do something like that in
PlayStation,
this
fuck
movie.
that.
Well, no,
Don't spoil the
I have a
Patreon
con.
content.
I do have a con about that.
One con.
Yeah.
About what was it?
Sony? That it's
Yeah.
supposed
Wait, what? I missed
Okay.
all of
Do you
that.
have an
Okay.
actual con?
Yeah.
Because you say it in like a non-spoiler way for the fans that are only in tune for the first 20 minutes?
Or,
I can
Or
say
you
it's
just
not.
mean
It's
it.
non-spoiler.
Okay, say it. Then this
Well,
is.
it's not really a con because it's.
Oh, fuck me!
This is
I
why
can
we
say
don't
it.
do reviews after
No.
the movie anymore.
I gotta wait for the spoilers. I don't want to touch upon it.
You know what? I'm gonna take the ball because this is going somewhere else. You could come up to me and say, I saw Venom and I think it is the worst movie of the year, the worst comic book movie. And I couldn't say you're wrong. I could listen and hear you out and be like, I understand why. But I would also retort and say, hey, I have quite a few problems with the movie, but I fucking love this movie quite a bit, and I don't know why. I do know
How many
why.
loves? Like 1 or 2 or 3?
Loved it.
Oh, okay,
like not
okay.
A soft love.
Yeah,
Yeah,
soft love. You know, like a summer fling, but you don't want to bring them home to your parents. You know,
Yeah,
like
sure,
this is the girl you're
Just a
embarrassed
fun
to date.
thing,
Yeah,
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 exactly.
yeah. When
No
she shows,
social media
and
pics.
she shows up at your high school, like, you went to a different school. I moved here. And you're like, oh shit.
Oh.
And then you have to murder them and hide the body. And it's a
Oh.
whole thing. But no, with this movie, I loved it from start to finish in the sense of they went for something, and in the first half an hour, you're going to know if you're going to like this movie or not. You can watch in the way where I think Dylan and Kirkland and myself watch it myself more, as far as maybe kind of like it's a good bad. But even then, if you can't get past that, if you can't enjoy some of the cheesiness and some of the jokes that they're going for that are pretty out there, you're not going to like this movie. You'll know I'd even say 15 minutes, you'll know if you like this movie or not. They do something different overall. They take a comedic slant with this movie, which I guess the trailers had hints of that, but not to the extent. If you think the trailer comedy is what this movie's like, it's like that, but times 100. They go over the top. It can feel like a parody almost at times. Like it feels almost like Deadpoolish like, and I don't think they're necessarily going for that all the time. But then there's sometimes they are going for the humor. They have this cool kind of back and forth with Eddie and Venom that works about 50% of the time for me. Some stuff I really like and enjoy, and some stuff is just too out there and too cheesy and too wild for me to enjoy. I'm trying to think. It feels a little dated at times. I think CG is good when it's Venom. There's some symbiote
Yeah,
stuff when
that's
it
what I was
looked a
gonna
little bad, a little
Yeah.
but Venom looks great, and I can double down on that by saying, excuse me, that the action scenes deliver. They felt like when I was we were in the theater, I was playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance. There's sorry, spoilers. Venom at one point picks up a guy and he uses him just as like a fucking baseball bat, and he's sending other people with him. You know, it's like that's great. Like some really comic booky stuff. With Eddie Brock, they make him a kooky character, but like a really kooky character. And I actually enjoy that because I think that they weren't going for the serious hard-boiled detective thing. They're going for kind of a weird, comedic, dark movie. And what Tom Hardy did with Eddie Brock, I liked. Eddie Brock has always kind of been a weird character with a weird sense of humor. This is very much to the supreme of that. But I like what Tom Hardy did because he's not just playing a generic, like, just lead, like, I'm a reporter, I'm here, and he's serious all the time. Like, but the thing is, I could see people not liking that. Like I said, again, in the first 15 minutes, you'll see what Tom Hardy's doing. He's saying things a different way. He's acting in a different way. He's very comedic. He does give off, and the movie sometimes gives off, like, Jim Carrey, kind of like the Masked vibes of him, like, having this duality. So, yeah, I could see people saying it's a bad movie. I honestly think it kind of is a bad movie. When we get down to the nitty-gritty, we talk about, like, plot points, and there's some specific thing in the end when a character decides to do something and it makes completely no sense, and it's like a pivotal role in this movie, and it's just like a throwaway line. It's like, oh, we're going with this, and you just kind of have to go with this. But I understand if you're that fan that goes, hey, I can't turn my brain off, then this is not the movie for you. But I had a enjoyable time with it, and I will likely watch this again. Not soon, but I will watch this again. And I was saying to Dylan, I don't think this is one of the worst comic movie ever, but I think it's in that C- kind of D tier as far as just a movie. But as far as an enjoyable time, probably like a solid B, you know, somewhere in there. That's not spoiling my rating, but like I had a fun time. I had a great time.
Yeah.
So
For sure. I'll piggyback on what you're saying. Like if you think of it as like a movie alone, not just like like a superhero. Like for me, Venom's always been like one of my favorite all-time comic book heroes, and like to see him portrayed the way he was in this movie, especially last time we saw him with Spider-Man 3, and seeing him a little more jacked and like the Venom that we love, I really like that. I really like the look of him. I thought the fight scenes were like phenomenal. There's a couple in there that it was, I don't know if it's a spoiler, but like when Venom's fighting another symbiote,
It's in the trailer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that, but
Hey, some people don't watch the trailers, so that would be considered a spoiler. So
Fuck those people.
but I thought it was a little like I don't know, convoluted.
It was
like
very
like,
messy.
Yeah, exactly. Like there was just a
Lots
lot
of
going
CG
on.
going
I was thinking, I was like, man, if Taylor's watching this 3D, I feel like I'd be getting a headache right now. I don't know if
I
you.
felt like I was actually like in the symbiote.
Okay.
oh,
All right.
I
Fair
think that would
enough.
just be you.
Fair enough. Not exactly what I was expecting you to say. Anyway,
That's also gonna be on the Blu-ray cover.
But no, like how you were saying, like.
Felt like I was in.
No,
Loved it. Felt like I was in this movie.
honey, we're not watching this movie tonight.
Oh, that's hilarious. But like when Venom was fighting just like regular humans, like it just looked awesome. Like the action scenes, and I like the way that they did with like the tendrils and just like the weapons that he would make, whether he was picking stuff up or just making weapons. I really like that stuff. You commented on my hand motions over there?
No,
Okay.
I'm narrating.
I really like Eddie Brock. It wasn't what I was expecting going into this movie, but I felt like cause you said he was very kooky. I felt like he was a lot more kooky once he was like had the parasite in him.
100%.
Like,
He kept getting kookier as the film went
yeah,
on,
like,
really.
like he was certainly to the far edge of the spectrum. But like I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was just like, oh, this is bad to watch. Like I enjoyed it. The comedy, I agree with you, where the Eddie Venom back and forth, I felt like it hit kind of 50-50. Like there was stuff I was actually like laughing at, and then stuff I was like, oh, I'm really enjoying this, and then over the top, like I didn't think they had to add that stuff in there.
High rolling lines.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, move on. But really like that stuff. The main villain I really did not like. I thought he was a minor, like
I'm glad you
super
brought it up
minor.
because I forgot to
Yeah,
tell
super
you.
minor. I thought he was just kind of wimpy and not that intimidating.
I liked the actor. I thought he did, because I'm a big Riz Ahmed fan, so that could be it. But I thought he did a good job of what they gave him. Just what they gave him is the most generic stuff ever. But I thought that he has some speech to like a human test subject, and I thought he was really good at selling that speech.
Yeah.
So I'll shout that out and say it.
I guess we can get more into spoilers, but yeah, like I have nothing against them. It's just as a main villain, I thought they could have had something much more, I don't know, badass, intimidating. Taylor would say that. I really like the score. I thought it did really well.
Really good, especially the beginning, because the beginning is the most serious of the movie. That first 20 minutes is very like sci-fi horror-ish, and really dig the score.
For me, like my favorite parts were probably like the middle of the movie. I don't want to spoil anything, so maybe I'll just pass it along. Overall, I really enjoyed it as like an entertainment value. If you break it down as a movie, I'm sure I'll be like, ooh, yeah, that was bad. Okay, I gotta agree with those negative points there. But for me personally, I love Venom. I love seeing him on a big screen, like drawn out well, like not that Spider-Man 3 Venom that every time I see it, I kind of cringe a little bit. But so I really like seeing that. But so yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I have to pretty much agree with you guys. It was a wonderfully bad movie, but it was a lot of fun at the same time. If I compare it to a couple other movies this year, I compare it to Star is Born for sure. Wonderful acting and writing, just character development.
Great musical pieces.
Great musical pieces. Original, by Eminem himself.
Venom could have sang in this movie though, and I wouldn't have been fucking surprised. Like it was that
it could have fit.
sometimes.
I can actually picture it in my head, no problem.
Yeah.
No, I would compare it to Predators, a recent one, and then Tomb Raider earlier in this year.
Yeah.
Because there's just some things that are just so bad that I just had myself just cracked up laughing and just stuck in a fit of laughter for like multiple minutes. And I think that's like one thing, if you, as a recommendation for this movie, I think you gotta go see it with some friends and just like laugh at it and joke around because I don't know. I guess you enjoyed it for like other reasons, I guess, but I don't know. I thought it was fun for that.
Would you agree with me though? There are some moments that are genuine human that they pull off. I'm not saying there's many of those, but I feel like there's genuine humor that they pull off. I feel like not all the humor that we laughed at was, oh, this is so bad, so good. I think there was a few. I don't think it's a high percentage, but at times they pull off, specifically with Eddie Brock's character. They made him a very comedic character. Like, I kind of almost sometimes also got like Jack Sparrow sort of vibes from him. You know,
definitely.
Like aloof, who kind of is smart.
He had. I think that's the thing is you know, I haven't seen Tom Hardy in a role like this, and it was just. It took me a couple minutes to get used to the voice because we heard it in the trailers. I was like, this is kind of weird, but seeing it in this movie, like, the first couple minutes, I was like, this is very strange. But the thing is, he was consistent with it the entire movie, and so that's where, like he. Obviously, that was like the intention of this movie was the kind of over the top jokes that they could do with like a character that has these kind of superpowers with a weird guy like Eddie, and he really did pull it off really well. There's a few particular scenes I'm sure we'll talk about in detail that were just hilarious from start to finish. As for the other characters in this movie, the villain's really bad. Like just no dimensions to him at all. Honestly, there isn't any other characters in this movie.
The love interest I didn't bring up.
She's a pretty lame character. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. No. I think pacing wise, in terms of just watching the movie, I think it was good. It seemed to like move at a pretty good pace. And how long is it? About 2 hours? A little less.
I think it's about 2 hours. Yeah, I think it's just under.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like at any point that I was slow or dragging on, which a lot of movies like this tend to have. Even Predator and like Tomb Raider, I compare them to, like, have their moments where it's like really dragging on, but this one kept its pace. Although the pacing of the actual story was pretty unrealistic, pretty wonky for a reason we'll talk about.
Hour 52.
Okay.
I think I don't think it's the most spoiler.
Yeah, but there was like 15 minutes of that were credits. The credits were long. True. You can cut sometime.
I don't think it's a spoiler thing to say that there's a classic superhero time jump, if that's what you're referring to for non-spoilers. There is a time jump where you just kind of roll your eyes. You're like,
totally.
It's very unnecessary. It really just takes you out of the movie for sure. But yeah, it's actually, Travis, what you were describing earlier of like within the first 15 minutes you know what you're watching. It was the exact same feeling I had with Predator. It's the exact same movie I had with this movie where I knew what I was getting into and it was kind of just ready for it. I think there is, in some universe there's a Venom movie that's a lot different than this, a lot more serious, a lot more character focused, maybe a lot more dark and consistent in that sense that perhaps is a really, really good movie, but instead they went with something like this. And I can't say I'm disappointed in it. Honestly, there is a lot of problems here, but I had fun with it throughout. And
see, that's the tough thing. I'll be the devil's advocate. I agree with you if I enjoy this movie to a point, but I don't know if I prefer them taking this route then, because I really liked the first 20 minutes when it was just dramatic and like the horror sci-fi stuff, and I thought if we could have got a whole movie of that, and maybe Eddie Brock not being so kooky, if he was just being a dramatic detective, but you get in his character, I still want to see that movie more than what we got here. I enjoy this movie, but I was really liking the serious tone for a while, and then they're just going out the window. I went, okay, fine.
I thought,
and obviously not being radar R too, you could feel there were some times where they kind of like
definitely had to cut things out.
Yeah, like Venom. Anytime he would cut or like bite a person's head off, they'd say, "Oh, I bit a guy's head off," but it didn't really feel like that. It just like he would just like engulf them, and it would be a quick cut,
Very lack of blood.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I thought the stuff at the beginning was a little more serious. To me, it was overly generic, and that's why I didn't really find anything to latch onto as a symbiote would. So maybe I don't know. I think it would have to, if you wanted to do a serious movie, I feel like you'd have to do a lot different than the way this movie tried to go about doing the little bit of it that it did. But yeah, I honestly I had a lot of fun with this movie. I'm ready to jump into spoilers if you guys are.
Well, I was going to ask one question, because we usually don't do this because we're usually reviewing Marvel comic movies and we know we're going to get more. And Dylan, start with you. Do you want to see more of this world?
Yeah. So the thing, there's layers to this question, because if the question is like, do I want to see more of this movie, or do I want these characters to get sold to Marvel so they can use them? The answer is easy.
Yeah, no, I'm taking the sold to Marvel, just this world. Saying Marvel's like, Feige saw this movie and he's not touching.
He's not touching.
Even if they get Venom in the next year, they'll be like, yeah, we're gonna leave him alone for 5 years so people can forget about us. I'm saying no Feige Marvel, just this world. This is what they've set up with. And not spoilers, but you can even take in any of the post-credit stuff. If that helps too.
I would not be opposed because I enjoyed this. I don't know. That's a big question because I feel like if I saw this movie again, like number 2, let's say it's like very similar, I don't know if I would enjoy it as much. I think they would need to do something different. Maybe have some other characters. Maybe the classic universe thing. Maybe they have another movie like a Morbius movie or something, and they bring them together. And
Oh fuck.
I don't know. On paper it sounds like a disaster, but on paper this movie sounded like a
Tom
disaster
Hardy and Jared
leading
Leto
into it,
together.
and I still enjoyed it for what it was, because I think it was pretty consistent in this kind of tone that it was going for.
Right.
I think it was pretty consistent, so it's not all bad.
Yeah, definitely not.
Taylor, same question to you. You want more of this universe? I think I know the answer, but
What do you think my answer is?
I think it's a for sure yes. I think
Oh,
we
yeah.
enjoyed it.
He said,
Yeah.
Let me
he's-
stop you right
That
there.
was a poor setup, guys. You can do better than that.
No, I think there is so much thrown in this movie that I want to see spread onto a sequel. I think a sequel would just be fantastic just in this world, and yes, there wasn't like there was
Oh no.
the absence.
Fuck Predator. Did you like this movie? Because the first 5 minutes of this movie was just Predator.
Oh, it's the same.
No,
scene.
I-
Same
Did
scene.
you realize
honestly-
that though? It was like with this like.
It was good, but I'd take the Predator intro all the way.
It's the exact same thing.
If
So
I
I
could
spoiled
take the first 5 minutes of
the
Predator
movie.
and put it in front of this movie, then we have something that Feige would like.
No, I'm saying like the. Oh no.
Wait.
no.
Say that one more time.
Minor spoilers. This movie starts with a spaceship coming out of space, crash lands, and then like they have this like SWAT team and everything. Like the set was the exact same as Predator. I mean.
There wasn't a kid.
Yeah, but in Predator, it was and the music,
That's not
the,
fine.
song,
No,
not
the
yet.
score.
That's not yet.
No.
He was literally doing it on the ship.
Your Predator bias is showing right
Yeah,
now.
that makes no sense.
You can't let the
Let's go back to the
fans-
question.
Kurt,
Let's
what
go
do you
back to the question.
Oh, do you want to continue?
Yeah. I think if it came down to them if Feige already saw this and was like, okay, like I'm not gonna touch that with a 15-foot Infinity Gauntlet, I think.
Good save.
I think
He does have a 50-foot Infinity Gauntlet.
I very much would like to think like the way I picture Feige is he's the kind of guy who would be like, okay, eventually we will take Tom Hardy in, like when we'll buy
No.
we'll buy out Sony altogether.
But they
And
won't
then,
take Tom Hardy with them.
I feel like they might change him around a little bit, and because I
Kevin
feel like
Feige dropped James Gunn in an instant. You think he's just flipping over for this fucking movie?
Yeah, James Gunn.
You are dead to me,
James Gunn made them
See
billions
you
of dollars. Created these iconic characters that were nobodies to somebody's. They're not taking this. Like, and same thing. They didn't take Garfield when they got Spider-Man, right? Right away, they're like, yeah, we're recasting you. Sorry, Andrew. Like, thanks for your time.
No, fair enough.
Hey.
Well, then, I feel like what Sony did. I feel like Sony like nailed the look and the CGI and just like Venom, just how he looked on screen. And I don't know how Feige would do that, but hopefully he would do it well.
I think looking at Thanos, I trust them. I don't think.
totally.
Yeah, I don't think that
Totally.
I would worry about. And plus, you get the actual. This was like almost like ultimate Venom version, but we didn't get the classic like
Totally, yeah.
stripes and the
100%.
Yeah,
spider.
but that's something that I worry too is that they might make it like for their villain, bring Venom in. I think they might keep the villain kind of like they're good at having different developments and traits for their villains, but their villains always seem to follow the same kind of like being on the back burner. And I like how Sony gave Venom his own movie.
Not
And I
lately,
would really
though.
like but
But
when
I'd say-
has
I'd say-
Feige given an actual villain a movie? It's always been focusing on the heroes.
You could argue that Infinity War is Thanos' movie. He has
Yeah,
the most
it is
screen time
Thanos'
of any
movie.
character in that movie.
I won't agree with Dylan on that one. I know people
Oh,
say
I
that, but
agree
it's
with
still
you.
like
It's
it's not a
Thanos'
villain. It's
movie.
not. Then it would be called Thanos the movie. I agree with you, but I think Marvel's approach is they sell it on the heroes, right? And we're seeing that with we're getting into newscast. We'll skip ahead here, but like they're dabbling with it with Loki and the streaming service, right? So I think they're starting to. I think they're just. You also have to make the conscious effort to remember that Sony doesn't have Spider-Man to use. So to me, it's not like they're being like, oh, they're like changing the game to making a villain movie. It's kind of like, well, we're not allowed to make a Spider-Man movie right now. So who else do we have? Well, everyone loves Venom. Let's make Venom, right? And Venom does turn into an anti-hero, right? So he's not a full-on villain. It's not like they took a Carnage or a Green. They didn't make Green Goblin the movie. Oh, fuck.
Wow.
No, I don't know if I need to see that after this. But like, they didn't make a pure villain movie, right? He's still an anti-hero. He's like a Punisher light in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Kirkland, you want more in this universe?
So,
No Feige.
are we comparing it to? Rather have it to? Like
If they
Marvel?
announce Venom 2, are you? Yeah, the Feige's like, yeah, we don't want this, and the only way they're saying we're making a Venom 2. Are you excited about that? How does that?
I kind of agree with Dylan on this question, where it's definitely layered, but for, that's a really tough question actually, because like, I agree with you how this Venom definitely felt kind of like an ultimate Venom, right?
Yeah.
Where the lack of the white spider and I don't know, they added some like weird like white veins to him to kind of have that like effect of the white spider where they couldn't put the spider on.
You guys tried. It's all right. We got you.
It's weird because I did get a lot of enjoyment from like the comedic aspect of this, like Eddie Brock, whereas that's totally different from what I'm used to and kind of what I fell in love with Venom and the character of Eddie Brock on.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if they did another one, I'd still enjoy it a lot, but nothing beats Venom with that white Spider-Man. And I feel like the whole parallel between Venom and Spider-Man is just like, that's like my favorite part about that whole Spider-Man like comic book series is the Venom Spider-Man. How they're just like huge rivals. So yeah, if I got it, I'd like it, but preferably I'd like him with the Feige. With the Feigster.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I enjoyed this movie, but I don't know if I enjoyed enough to like a Deadpool level where I go, I need to see more in this world.
Yeah.
And especially like we'll get into spoilers, so if you've seen spoilers, stick around. For me, I was and I can say this, and for people that are non-spoilers, I was very, very disappointed in the post-credit scene. And for me, that left a bad taste in my mouth, even though I enjoyed the movie. But I didn't enjoy enough to be like, man, I'd love to see a sequel and see this adventure again. It's kind of like, maybe a one-off, like, man, you remember that 2018 Venom movie?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of just maybe leave it at that, because, like I said, I think I enjoyed it, but sometimes for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So.
I feel
What if Sony, retains the rights to Spider-Man after it comes back from the MCU,
That'd be an interesting.
and then they just plop that Spider-Man right into
I don't want
this.
that either. I don't want Tom Holland in these movies. I like Tom Holland
What if
too
they
much.
bring back Garfield, Amazing Spider-Man?
Oh,
3?
I'd be down for Garfield. If they're like, we're gonna let Tom Holland be in the Marvel one, and this takes place in the Garfield verse.
I don't think
sure.
he'd be into that.
No,
But
more or less,
Maguire, he might.
more or less do the Toby verse. Yeah, I want to see Tom Hardy versus Toby.
Retcon that Venom.
Okay,
I was saying this to Taylor after the movie. What if someone, like a really talented editor, this could be you after you're done your schooling, takes Spider-Man 3 and edits it together with this movie to like take essentially Venom in Spider-Man 3 and just get him out of there, but still have Venom in that movie through like, splicing together this movie and that movie. You think it's possible?
Oh yeah. GeekVerse Productions, let's get underway.
huge lawsuit coming our way as well.
And there you go. Toby's in there.
I'm
You
also
do
gonna
it. That's how you do
say
it.
that the way Tom Hardy acts in this movie and versus the way Tobey Maguire acts in Spider-Man 3 when he gets a symbiote, it's not too far from each
I was
other.
waiting for that piano scene, honestly. I was like, this guy's got some piano.
They
skills.
could fit in the same universe, and I would
Uh-huh.
down to see
He
a
was going
scene.
in.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Toby's doing. I didn't see much of this though.
I got the feeling that the apartment that he lived in this movie was like definitely the apartment at
Red,
Sure,
yeah.
Red Shepherd fix this damn dog!
It was the same. If that guy walked out and was like asking, "Hey," and he had like that eviction
Yeah.
notice or something. Like, what if he, came
That's
back
like
for his
Thanos
rent?
end credit scene and then apartment guy, like just above that. That'd be so good.
That'd be nice.
Let's get into spoilers. 3, 2, 1. If you've not seen this movie, go watch it. Come check it out. If you don't care about spoilers, then this is the time now. So yeah, 3, 2, 1. This is your last chance. Turn it off. Where do we want to start with spoilers on this bad boy? Yeah.
So the other two symbiotes died, correct? That's what those bulges were on the floor?
Oh, bulges. I think just kind of corpses of the symbiotes. Yeah. I don't think they were bulges, but yeah, there's the blue one
And the yellow one.
that
right?
took out the doctor, and then
Which one was the yellow one? Because I
The
remember
yellow one
one
went
was
to the
Thomas.
rabbit, and then they put it onto like another one of their volunteers, and then it was just on the ground, I think.
Okay, cool.
So-
the one at the beginning of the movie that took over that EMT who took over the girl who ended up
That was
turning into
Riot.
Riot.
Pointless.
Is that
Yeah.
this like that's not the same symbiote as Venom though, right?
No,
or is
it's
it?
a
It's
separate
technically Venom's.
Because they only
like,
had 3 that came
offspring,
back on
right?
that ship.
They did, but no, they had
No, I
3
don't
on the
think so.
ship, but they talk about, they're like, we lost one. So they had 4,
Yeah.
but they only
I thought they
had
had 3 like in that lab though.
They had 3. No,
They
they have
had
3 in that
3.
lab.
Because
Yeah, there's a
Venom was in
yellow,
the
a
lab.
blue, and a Venom,
Yeah.
and a black one, and then the silver Riot. That's the one that escaped, and it was going through all these people. Which,
I thought they said they had like 3 in total that they were coming back.
no, they had 3. I took it as they had 3.
Oh,
but
maybe
we
like
lost
3
one.
3 after. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm bringing that up before I forget. I don't understand. That's 5-10 minutes you could have cut right there of Riot, the symbiote going around the world. Just put it in the lab and make it somehow connect to the
Yeah.
doctor, or really give the doctor some motivation and be like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this myself, I'm gonna get in there, and if I want to be this
That's
next
so
evolution
weird,
step,
yeah.
I'm gonna make the choice to go in there. Not to be, let's go on a fucking road trip with the symbiote and then the symbiote take him over. Didn't like that at all. That was completely pointless and
Mhm.
just
It was.
taking time away. And
Yeah.
because I thought they were gonna do it in a clever way that the whole time they do like little flashes of the symbiote traveling along, and I thought the end credit scene was gonna be that symbiote going to Cleus Cassidy, and that's how you get it. And I thought, oh, that'd be a fun way in the movie. Like throughout the movie, you see the symbiote going throughout the world, and it finds its holding place
Yeah,
in the serial killer. But no, it finds its way to the Life Foundation, and like wasn't a big fan of that.
I mean, I guess it must have had, because obviously like the Venom symbiote has, you know, kind of like free will. It kind of has a goal in mind. That one must have as well, but I still don't understand how it found.
Oh, it doesn't make sense.
Well, I guess its goal is to
And
go
I
back
don't-
up in space, right? So its goal is to get back to the Life Foundation. But really, you would
Okay.
just think it would just get taken, because if they would have took the I guess it wanted to be free, I guess. But I guess that's its motivation. It wants to go back up space, so it has to get to the Life Foundation.
Airport.
Yeah, but
It's
even
all
then,
girl.
the EMT like ends up in Hong Kong.
Well, the ship crashed in Malaysia.
Yeah.
There's right. So then it had to take a flight and go
Fuck,
all
dude,
the
I
way.
hated that whole
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
concept. I was so like, it just aggravated me. Like every time I saw like we get a flashback to like first of all like the EMT lady takes over the old lady, takes over the child. I was just like, where the fuck is this guy going? Like I don't understand this. And then he just finds a way into the lab.
Yeah, as a
Meets
little
the guy.
Well, I guess
And
he
it's
probably
just like,
killed some people.
I
we
don't
didn't see
fucking
it.
care. It's like, like why did he just like go straight to like the main guy too? I just
That would have been much cooler though.
Hurt
I
me.
mean, like what you said, if like the main head honcho just went in and took it upon himself, like to just connect with
Yeah.
the symbiote.
He
I think
clearly
it makes
wanted
sense.
to
It
do
would've made
that,
sense.
yeah.
I think it would have
Yeah.
been cool if, you know, either one of the symbiotes was still alive and he just had enough of all the bullshit and he just went into the lab to go and do it, and when it's right before he's about to connect with it. Throughout the whole time, like at the beginning, you see Riot possess the one person, and then we don't see Riot for the whole rest of that time. And then as this main guy is going to connect with the symbiote, then you see Riot just pop out of the lab, just to like, oh yeah, Riot is like, he's here now all of a sudden. Wow, it's crazy, and just like brutally like kill the other symbiote or push it to the side and infect the guy or whatever,
Yeah,
like, just to prove his dominance or something. I don't know.
And it would have made sense too, because the main scientist, he clearly didn't want to put the symbiote in himself because it was dangerous. But then the turning point is when he sees like
Venom.
the
and
videos of
capabilities,
Venom out
yeah.
there, and he's like, "Yo, I want that power," because he's a crazy fucking
Yeah.
guy.
Dope ass.
And that would make sense for him to be like, I'm gonna go get one of these suits. Let's
Mhm.
hope for the best team.
Script doctors, that's us.
Oh yeah, because even then they talk about how it has to be like a perfect match. Like I guess Riot in a way is a perfect match for him because they're both about like dominance and
Mhm.
wanting to like take over stuff in a way. But in the sense, it's still like, okay, so literally, it for me, it's not even. I guess it's personality too. That's a perfect match. It's not even organ health. It's
It
literally
kind of
just,
seemed like random.
yeah, like Venom. Oh, I'm a loser. Oh, Eddie's a loser too.
Oh,
Okay,
that
great.
was I didn't like.
Yeah,
that
I
was
just-
cringy.
The
Yeah.
symbiotes just, I mean, they want to feel comfortable. Like for when
Yeah, I guess.
they were okay living off of like the host, the test subjects, but at the same time they didn't feel obviously fully comfortable. That's why like they were hungry and they were eating the insides
Yeah.
of the human to live, and that's why like Venom wasn't obviously with Eddie, but he threatened Eddie at the end. He's like, you know, let's get something to eat because your liver's looking pretty good right now, or
Mhm.
something like that.
You
So,
like that line?
yeah. So-
Yeah, I think the problem also is that I agree with you that they gotta find one that they're comfortable with, but because we get so little information on the Doctor and learning about him, that it's tough to realize like why this symbiote would connect to him. And plus, it'd be great that I know it's science jargon, but you know Iron Man does it in a cool way. It'd be great if they would have tested these subjects and somehow found a way to break down what's specific about these symbiotes. You know, like they didn't really tell us. They would just be like, oh, connects to something, and then oh, because this guy's a loser, this guy's a scientist. Like if they would have before told us like, oh, this symbiote has characteristics of this, or it acts in this certain way, or if this one's more aggressive, or this one's more like create. Like they could have said something about Riot's being creative as far as it's making shapes and stuff like that. Because
Mhm.
most of the time they're just fucking goo on the thing, right? And that's when the CGI looked the worst. Whenever they were on the wall, whenever they were climbing up people, did not look good. Like that first subject, the blue one out of his mouth, not good at all. But it's funny when they were Venom.
I didn't think it was that bad. Actually.
Really? It just took me out of it.
For me,
video game.
I thought the CG was. It was pretty decent for the most part. I think sometimes it was walking on the walls, it didn't look so great. Or on like the people's chests for sure.
Yeah.
But then the final fight, like you mentioned, Kirkland, Riot and Venom, it's just very messy and like you can't really see what's going on, or at least I couldn't. Maybe in 3D you could because you feel like you're part of it.
You feel like you're in the symbiote.
You're third person.
But for me, I was just like, whoa, this is a little too much for me right now.
It was.
I feel like overcompensating a little bit, you know. Like,
well,
look at all this.
At the same time, it's hard if you have two
gross.
characters that look very similar.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it's very fast paced.
And it's dark.
It's kind of dark.
And it's night.
Yeah. Weird lights are going on.
I think I disagree. I think you can do it right. It's just because for me, and I'll use this as an example for Taylor in his world. If you look at Bumblebee right now with all those trailers, when you're seeing those new Transformers fight, you can see everything clear as day and all the action. Where in Michael Bay's Transformers, my biggest complaints is anytime the Transformers are fighting, it just looks like a rolling ball of metal, and you can never see anything that's going on. And that's what it felt like at the end when those two were fighting. That you can never see what's going on.
But they slow it down.
Yeah, true. But with a great director, like you guys said, oh, it's in the fucking dark. No, you don't do that. You get them somewhere lit. You put them space. You don't always have them rolling around each other. You know, like. And if you want to do this last cool shot of this stuff, cool. But like at one point it was like 30 seconds of them just tearing each other. And it's like I can't tell who's winning this fight, so I have no stakes in this because I don't know, is Brock kicking his ass or is he about to die? I can't.
Might have been better if they're like a little bit more different color because like they're pretty similar.
Ryan was a bad choice to be honest. He's cool, but like gray and black versus black and
white.
If
they had like yellow and red. Like, very easy to tell.
Carnage will be a lot easier when he's just fucking this red thing, you know.
Hopefully, unless it's really dark red.
Oh yeah, it'll just maroon.
Harry Osborn's hair.
Oof. Where do we want to go?
How do we start on
that?
Yeah,
what do we even start on?
This is classic. GeekVerse review.
I want to talk about the dead symbiotes.
Oh right, and then we got with that. Yeah, so I guess we talked about Eddie a bit. Because the good thing is we talk about non-spoilers. I don't think there's too much for me to say as far as spoilers. There's certain moments, but the character I kind of said like before, like he's a Kubi type of character. The stuff with him and Venom, I did like. Some jokes that I already told these guys, the jokes I didn't like was when he would put his hands up and he's like, no, hands down, hands up, hands down.
Didn't like that?
No, bugged the shit out of me.
Fucking loved it.
But then the joke that really I loved and Arthur really liked was like when he's like, jump out the window now. And then he hits the elevator and he's like, pussy. Like, there's a few, like, it was literally 50-50. Literally felt like that was like one joke. Didn't like it all. Next joke, I liked it. Next joke, didn't like it. Like, it never felt consistent for me if I'm really like in this chunk. Even at the very beginning, the way Eddie was, or the first like times Venom was talking to him, it felt way too cheesy, and it felt I didn't like the lines. But then I kind of liked stuff when he was talking about like, oh, we're gonna get Annie back and stuff like that. Like, it literally was like 50-50, and I that's the best way I can say it. There's not specific lines that shout out. There's just lines that I laughed and other lines where I rolled my eyes, and I think that's been rare for me to have comedy. Usually one just totally pans or I really hit. This was quite an experience for me watching this movie.
I think because there's kind of a point before Venom was really showing himself, and it was kind of just Eddie Brock who was freaking out, and those were the best scenes.
MIT
for sure. MIT, I don't remember that.
When he's walking, when he's talking to the security guard, and he's so all squishy, and he's like MIT, and then he's like. MIT! And he's just like yelling to himself. And
that was before he had the symbiote.
Oh, okay. I thought you were referring to that. Okay.
No, I mean like the best scene for sure was when he's in his fucking apartment, just freaking out.
Dude, and those tater tots.
He just opens up the tater tots,
just eating them raw, just so like frozen.
This garbage scraps of chicken. He's just eating the whole thing, and then he just goes.
Man, that scene.
Vomits.
That guy's got a nasty ass toilet. Like even before.
That was very gross.
Even before he vomited it, I was like, dude, you gotta clean, man. That's nasty.
What did you think? What do you guys think about the restaurant scene with Venom?
I thought it was hilarious. It was the same thing.
It was, but it was
from
super uncomfortable.
From like Christian Bale's Batman when he just jumps in the pool.
Oh yeah, that's like got major feels. I'm buying this hotel. No, I liked it, and then there's just again times where just like when he jumps in the there's just times where I laughed because I was like uncomfortable and I couldn't believe what was happening.
Yeah, it's very over the top.
Yeah.
Very
That's like
that
the so
might
bad
be the most over the top
right?
scene in the movie. Honestly, I think that restaurant scene. When
Yeah.
he's just
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
he'll like look at someone and be like, I'm not gonna eat you, and then like, and then he eats that, and then he's just like, dead, and like, oof, just.
Yeah, it was very 50-50. I felt I agree with you. Though. I feel like for me it might have been like 55, 45. You know, like a little bit
there you
more.
go.
So but I feel
positive.
a little more positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So I feel, but like even like the Eddie Brock before he had the symbiote, like he had some funny lines in there. Just him as general. Like I remember the one scene where he was talking about. Oh no, actually he did have the symbiote when he's talking about the cat, and he's like, the cat. Oh, it's because it's a cat, right? Like, the cat's just fucking ate you. Like I just love that line. That was hilarious. So for me, the comedy was pretty good, over the top, but sometimes the over top was so like unexpected that it just made you laugh. You're like, what the fuck is even happening right now?
Like, why'd they sit down and write this scene, you know?
Yeah,
And I'll say, actually, there's a higher percentage of just the Eddie humor, of like when you refer to that, or at the beginning of the movie. I actually liked the love interest went nowhere, but I liked their back and forth when they were in bed together and stuff like that. And even at the restaurant when they're having like their date night, I even liked some of their dialogue and whatnot. I actually liked all the stuff where he was just Eddie. I liked the majority of that because he decided this is the way I'm playing the character, and this is how it's gonna be, guys, whether you wrote it or not. And he committed; it wasn't in and out, and I liked that. And
Yeah, you gotta give him credit.
Yeah,
Because he stayed consistent the whole way through.
Yeah.
He did.
definitely did. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like the stuff with his girlfriend. I thought it was just it just didn't fit at all. I don't know, maybe in like retrospect, maybe if I watched the movie again I'd get it, but it was so early
When are you
on.
watching this again, Dylan?
Tomorrow. But yeah, maybe it's because like that was the very start of the movie and I didn't really know what I was getting into at that point. I don't know, I didn't really find like there was much connection or depth to that already. It was pretty basic, which I mean was kind of intentional, I guess. But it's too bad that her character never really goes beyond that. She never really has any attributes of her own throughout this movie.
She saves him once.
Bit,
She saves him once.
She saves him twice in the exact same way.
True, you're
By
right.
turning up the volume. And
She saves him though. No damsel in distress. They didn't do that.
true.
That's a rarity, even though this movie
We
feels
do
like
it.
it's 2005. You know. It's,
Mhm.
yeah, I'll
It's interesting that she is Venom for. I mean,
I wasn't expecting.
You don't
that.
really get to see it. It's very.
I was
very
expecting
fast.
that fucking pooch to come in, just full Venom suit.
That was quite a moment because I
thought Venom was just gonna eat the dog, honestly.
no, I was talking about when they made out.
Oh, okay.
When she was Venom and he was Eddie Brock and they made out. I don't
the
know.
transfer.
I don't know if that was necessary because I don't know if this whole relationship thing was necessary as far as I liked some of their dialogue, but I didn't think they had the greatest chemistry. Michelle Williams, one of the best actors in the world right now. Watch Manchester by the Sea that came out a few years ago. She's been nominated for multiple awards. I don't know why she was in this movie. I don't know why her agents let her do this. Maybe her kids want to see this,
She
but
probably just wanted to act alongside the great Tom Hardy.
maybe, but that was a mistake. Even the way when their breakup scene happens, one of the most laziest things
That
ever.
was weak.
He's at the bike, she comes up with a box, she's like, oh, you made a mistake, blah, blah, here's your ring. And I'm not saying the character is warranted to break up with them, but to me, when you're breaking off an engagement, and I would assume living with a person, it should be more of a dramatic scene.
Oh, it
and
seems so quick. And he's just like, oh, okay.
And I'm not looking
to be
for
fair,
a Star is Born in this movie, but I'm looking for
Yeah.
at least something to attach to with these characters, and that was the moment right there, because he did royally fuck up, but it just was so quick.
It was weird too because we never it was never shown that obviously we knew that he was snooping on her computer, but she never knew that, and there was never there was never a time when that was explained to
I
her.
think it was because he was asking questions that only would have been known by like that case that she was dealing with through the Life Foundation.
Yeah.
So they kind of linked it, and then maybe they knew that they were dating, engaged. I don't know. That's kind of what
I think they would. I think all you need to
Yeah.
do, if this guy is has so many connections, that's the way I took it. As there's a select group of people that know about this, and funny enough, one of the people is dating or engaged to the guy
exactly.
who's bringing
That's
it up,
what I
right?
got.
So I didn't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of her this whole movie, honestly. I wasn't a big fan of her character, and I haven't seen those amazing things that she's in, but I'm not a big fan of her in general.
Really?
The actress. Like,
Have you seen My Weekend with Marilyn?
No.
Have you seen Blue Valentine?
No, I haven't.
Blue Valentine is fucking
Yes,
great.
Blue Valentine.
I think I've seen her in this, and I think I've seen her in
You think you've seen her in this?
that Amy Schumer movie, and she was horrible in that.
Trainwrecked?
No, it's like the one where she switches bodies with like
Freaky Friday.
the skinny chick. I don't know.
13
you
going
can
on
pull
30.
it up. It's
Is that recent one where she
Yeah.
thinks she's like super
Yeah.
good looking and everything?
The
Yeah.
Circle.
Exactly. Fuck you, buddy.
I'm pretty. What, isn't it called
Yeah.
I'm Pretty?
I think
Boom,
I'm pretty.
I got
I
there.
think I'm pretty. But she had a really
Super Valentine.
fucking weird voice in that. Like it was definitely the
She had a
writing-
weird voice.
Okay, I didn't see that movie.
As weird
so-
as Eddie Brock's voice?
Yeah,
So-
go watch the movies I suggest.
Yeah,
She's one of the best
totally.
actresses in the world.
So from what I've seen, not a big fan. I'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't really like her in this movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think there's a whole lot to her character, really. It's
Yeah.
pretty basic. Plus, I mean, the 6-month time jump doesn't help her
Oh, that
character
was
at all.
yeah.
No, and she didn't need to be dating a guy right away. That could have just been her friend. I was saying in the theater. They
Yeah.
didn't need to make a whole love interest thing, and
I wasn't too upset with it.
I just feel like
It's been 6 months. She's got a
It was unnecessary, but I don't know. I didn't really feel like it had an impact on the story because
yeah.
whether or not she was with him, I don't think it would have changed whether or not she would get back with Eddie or anything.
and
right?
she still made out with Eddie too.
Well, that
And
was
then-
Venom.
Right.
That was Venom's choice.
Venom
Was,
Eddie
right.
Action.
And Venom, as we saw, kind of has most of the control when it comes to these relationships.
Yeah.
True.
Very controlling, Venom.
That's what symbiotes do, you know.
Yeah.
What
Where are we
a
going?
basic movie. Do we have anything spoiler to mention on the villain? I feel like we kind of pegged him in the non-spoilers, but anything we want to shout out? Because as I think about this movie, it is very basic, and it is very...
It is incredibly basic.
It is just, guy gets symbiote, he's run away from bad guys, he gets caught, versus bigger bad guy. That's a
Yeah,
movie.
I mean,
Right.
With a lot of weird moments.
so right before
Tater tots.
me and Travis were waiting for Taylor to get here because this guy went to the 15-minute later movie. Travis, opens up his phone and Adam's asking him, "What would you rate this out of 5 stars?" And he was kind of deliberating. He's like,
Don't tell it. Don't spoil my review though, because I would go. They'd figure out if I pass or fail this movie if you give.
I
"Yeah,
give
I
my
don't care. I'm
star
gonna
rating.
spoil it anyway because
I
I'm
can
already
tell
in
later.
the story." He's like, I think I might give it like 3 stars. I'm like, I'd give it a 3. And he's like, 3 out of 10. And the thing is, I think you could justifiably make a case that this is a 3 out of 10 movie, right? Like that, it has all the puzzle pieces.
I don't know the way you say that though. The way you say that sounds like you would go higher than that, so you would understand that, or you're saying the score you would give is lower than 3, so you could justify someone making the case for. My grade for this is still passing grade because I enjoyed the movie, but as a movie, it was not the greatest.
The villain.
Yeah,
I don't think I have much to say.
No.
He's, there really is no depth to him. It never really explains why he wants to. I guess he wants to go to space, and that's where he thinks
Well, he wants to go to the symbiote
mankind
world and bring them all
will
here, right?
continue to live on. But he does it in a really shitty way. Probably doesn't do it in the most efficient way. Does it very sus. Doesn't really explain why he's just so evil.
killing his own employees.
Because he can definitely do everything he's doing in this movie without being so evil. And I don't know.
Mm-mm.
What's that?
He might not have been able to test the human subject so quickly, and he's worried that
maybe he
Earth
should.
is running out of time.
Maybe he should have tested on other animals, before going straight to humans. Maybe it would have
I
been
mean, you
better.
got that rabbit going.
Because
It's like, all right.
look at it this way. It didn't work out at all. Shit broke containment, and you know why? It's because he was super sus, and then his employer was like, "This is stupid," and she went to go get Eddie Brock of all people. So clearly, that was not the best decision to rush human trials. It did not work out for him at all.
No, I guess he died. So it didn't work out. You know?
Yeah, didn't work at all.
I can't.
Formula.
You're taking it out of my head.
You like
That's
that Spider-Man
back to
one?
formula? Completely taken from Spider-Man 1. You know?
Back to formula.
For people that don't know what I'm referring to, there's just this great scene in Spider-Man 1 where Norman is explaining to this board about the test subjects are going so great, blah blah blah, and then his side little guy, his
loud
little
bitch.
minion, the army guy's like, "What do you think?" And he's like, "I think we gotta take the whole thing back to formula." And Norman Osborn and Willem Dafoe just delivers this great, just back to formula, and he whispers it, but the camera catches it. Go watch Spider-Man 1 instead of this movie.
Great movie.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I did call. You can go back to the very first trailer when this happened. The end scene was exactly what I said, that we are Venom. I knew that was going to be the fucking end scene when he brought it off that guy's head. They need to stop doing this in superhero trailers. Stop showing these end scenes. I can figure it out. What was the last movie we just...
I think it's hard to make a
X-Men,
good
stop doing
spoiler-free
that.
trailer.
No, it's not. Look at Infinity
It
War.
seems fucking hard.
Look
You
at
know how much
Ant-Man.
money these people get paid to make trailers, and that shit is spoiling everything. Okay, maybe that's just what people want.
Dark
They want to
Phoenix.
be spoiled. I don't know. That's not what I want. But maybe there's got to be a reason where they're making these trailers like this. What happened? Star Wars 7, fantastic trailer. One of the greatest trailers of all time.
So are you saying JJ should direct Venom 2?
I think he should direct the trailer for Venom 2.
Yeah.
If anything.
Infinity War, great trailers.
Okay, I'll give you this because I feel like we've all now talked about everything we kind of want to. Obviously, this movie was rumored to go back and forth being rated R PG-13. Now, in retrospect, that you've seen PG-13, we talked about Ben non-spoilers.
I want to see people get their heads bitten off.
Yeah. I think it would have helped. I think that would have added to the pulpiness of this movie. Even more, and the cheesiness. Because, then again, I know why they wanted to do PG-13. 2 reasons. 1, they want to connect to the MCU. Not a fucking chance, so sorry. Like I said, Feige's not going to touch this with the 50-inch Infinity Gauntlet.
Ooh.
And then, 2, they want to make more money. So I get that you can with PG-13. But, yeah, I like the action scenes with Venom, but I think between some of the body torture they could have done in the labs with the experimented people, and then the violence, like I said, anytime you bit a guy's head off, it just looked very cartoony and very, very.
It felt like we missed it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I didn't.
It felt like if you looked away and then you'd come
That's
back.
not what you want in a movie. You want to feel like, wow, I got to see it all.
Yeah.
You want to feel like you're in the symbiote.
You want to feel like you're in the symbiote. 100%.
I did like in that lab that it was his little homeless friend there, and I liked the little stuff like that. You know, that was
That's
fun.
good. Yeah.
But how do you guys feel about the PG-13 versus rated R now? Now that we've seen it.
I'm glad you brought that up because when I first heard that it was going to become PG-13, I was super let down because I wanted to be the horror Venom, like full gruesome guts and blood and all that shit. When I was watching it though, I didn't feel too let down that it wasn't. Obviously there was a lot of lack of blood, a lot of heads bitten out. Yeah, at least there's some plasma there. Yeah. But so when I was watching it, I didn't really be like, oh, that kind of sucks that it's not rated R. But at the same time, I really want that rated R, especially if this isn't touched or attached to the MCU. I feel like it would have been super easy for them to do that.
Could have made the jump.
Could have made the jump, exactly. But like what you said, I understand why they didn't.
Taylor Field?
Yeah, the whole PG-13 radar thing never really bothered me. And seeing the movie and, in retrospect now, definitely would have been cool to see if there was like a little bit more blood and some guts and intestines and stuff. But, I can live without it. It's not going to take away from...
You will. You're going to have to.
I'm going to have to. Yeah. This is not going to take away, from, my rating of the movie or whatever, because I still enjoyed it. And, it was so fast-paced and everything when Venom would, slash a dude, and the screen would just transition that, if they just added in the blood and stuff like that, it wouldn't make a huge difference, but...
The Blu-ray edition.
I was going to ask, is this a still case for you?
Yeah. Okay. If Best Buy pulls their $44 4K steel case bullshit,
so check out our news.
Fuck that.
Check out our last newscast for this conspiracy theory.
It'll either be
it's business.
It won't be just DVD. It's definitely at least Blu-ray digital copy. Absolutely.
Okay. Dylan, you have anything on PG-13?
Here's the thing, right? This space is being tapped into with Deadpool and with Logan.
Yep.
Obviously, those movies had a lot more other things going for them that led up to that point. Logan, a character that was in the works for 17 years, and Deadpool had just wonderful marketing and just a really clear vision. This movie just kind of seemed like a mess going on before it, so it's perhaps a little bit harder to justify an R rating because I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know if people are going to go see this movie. Our theater was fucking packed. People were loving it. People clapped at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
People were clapping.
The Venom boys were strong.
That was shocking to me. So maybe...
I was surprised, honestly. When I walked in and it was packed, I'm like, dude, it's 7:15. Look at this.
I wasn't surprised. Every person that plays Call of Duty was in this fucking theater, and then every chick was there to see Tom Hardy. The percentage of people like us was very low because Venom. I love Venom. He's one of my favorite villains.
I wonder how that would have affected it had it been an R rating.
I don't think it would have been our crowd. I saw one kid in our crowd. Venom to me is just a very, very bro-y comic book character. It's one of the most I fucking love Venom and he kills people.
I fucking love Venom.
I love Carnage because his name is Carnage.
I love Carnage.
Let's talk about Bushmaster. Back to formula. Let's talk about the post-credit scene. I really want to start.
Okay.
Are we not done?
I don't have more things to say about the movie.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I have nothing else, so go, yeah.
I like the Stan Lee cameo. I thought it was pretty fun.
Wasn't expecting that, honestly.
I don't like that.
I kind of forgot about it.
I kind of forgot about it, too.
I don't like that he called out that he knows about the symbiote.
I did.
I didn't like that.
Because
I don't like the
Stanley
breaking
is
the fourth wall.
clearly-
Closer to he's a
clearly-
watcher, you know.
Yeah, he's a universe breaking.
Not in
character.
this world. There's no Watchers in the Sonyverse.
Why does that bother you? This guy already exists as like 20 other people in another universe.
No, I don't. I just don't like that he knows Eddie's secret. I just don't like it.
That's
It's just a personal thing. I like when he is playing like there's nothing in the story that would dictate how he would know that.
I think if there's anyone that's gonna call Eddie out and Venom out on their shit, it is the Mr. Stanley himself.
Mhm.
Who didn't
I think it's
who didn't
unfair.
create Venom, but that's fine.
Still,
He
the-
could've.
Todd
the,
McFarlane's not in this movie, but he
He's in
is.
the
Oh,
credits.
he's triggered. We got him triggered.
It's fine. I like the cameo for the most part, other than that part.
The other big action set pieces like the car chase scene that we saw in the trailers. To me, you know, there's some good moments, but honestly, overall, I was getting some Padres vibes. I felt like it went on way too long. Felt like
Really?
it was going on for
I felt
probably 15 minutes
I
straight.
feel like the
If
biggest
not more.
moment in that scene too is when he was like flying through the air, and then it like slows down, the music quiets down, and we saw that in the trailer.
Uh-huh.
So like they put a lot of
Highlight,
emphasis
yeah.
on that scene in this movie, when like that was like the main scene in the trailer. I feel like we didn't.
Mhm.
My favorite is when he like skid to the side and then made like a Venom shield.
Oh,
around
that
him.
trace
the
guy.
CGI went off the charts of that.
Dude, that
one.
Trace
Shark.
guy
Is
was
that
like, holy
sarcastic?
shit, this guy.
Yeah, it wasn't good CGI.
No, I liked it. I didn't mind it.
You could tell he was clean.
Well, I think you could always
sliding
tell whenever
on
Venom's
green
on
screens.
screen. Like that's definitely.
He
good.
was wrapped in green.
Wrapped in green.
I don't know what else do I got. One last thing, I like when he goes back to his apartment just to chill out, and he like drinks a glass of water. He puts on this Eckhart Tolle CD. He's trying to meditate, and then
that was
and then
hilarious.
his neighbor starts blasting the music, which clearly fucks with him at that point. So he just gets up and just, you know, full Venom eyes, like yells at him, and the guy's like, "Oh, I'll just turn that right down, man." And
Yeah, and
Yeah.
see, that's humor I
I like-
really liked.
I really like that scene.
Yeah.
That was a fun scene.
Or even at the beginning of the movie when he walks out and they hear the music and he's just like, "Ah!"
Going full Hulk almost.
I like that.
Full Hulk.
Worked for me.
Geez Louise, I think that might be.
Do you guys have a
5,
problem with the fact that Venom called Eddie out and saying like, I know your thoughts, the Life Foundation, all this stuff, like you're a loser, and then afterwards when he's on the phone, Venom's like, who's this Anne? Would
Yeah,
you be able
called
to
that
tell
out.
that?
Oh yeah, that's a. It doesn't make sense. I would consider a plot hole.
Plot hole.
Unless Venom was just like
He's
saying
just
he knows
trolling.
everything about Eddie when really he doesn't. He was just like trying to get into his
But he
head.
would though, wouldn't he?
I feel like
that's the way I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's kind of how you have to take it, or else that straight up breaks the character, because obviously he's probably thinking about Anne like all the time.
Plot hole,
Still,
okay.
even though it's only 6 months later,
Another thing then too is
he still
The,
loves her.
um,
So.
when the
course.
kids were talking to like the
Doesn't
main
matter,
bad
6
guy,
months.
what's his name? Riz? I don't know, or Drake is Rudy,
Yeah,
right?
Drake.
Riz.
Riz is his real name. Riz
Drake
is his
from the
real name.
Six.
Oh, okay.
So when the
That's
kids
a wild guess.
the kids are all talking to Drake or whatever, and then or Drake's talking
that
to the
one-
kids,
yeah,
and
that
the
was a
one
weird
kid's
scene.
like, "Excuse me, can I have a question?" And then Drake just
Yeah, that
starts
was
talking,
super
but then
weird.
doesn't let the kid actually ask the
No,
question.
it was
like, "Here's my little
it was so
pen.
funny. These like these fucking losers aren't letting you ask the question.
Yeah, it
So
was
go ahead and ask, but I'm not
silence.
gonna let
It
you."
was super weird. That scene was very
Can I
I
get
kind
some
I fucking love that scene. I don't know
You did?
why. Yeah, because I got
hated that
everything I
scene.
knew about that character from that moment, because clearly this is a guy who's been held down his entire life by other people, and that's what that scene was trying to dictate. And he was going to let her answer a question, but he got interrupted when they said
Okay.
that Eddie Brock is there
I'll
and
give
he
it
pulled
to
her
you.
away. But I like that. I like him shun the little fuckers up. Like, hey, don't tell her that. I liked that because,
Gives her
you
the
know,
pin.
it's very similar to Norman Osborn. He's been told many times.
Norman
you know,
Osborn.
and, yeah, so I liked that, you know.
I did notice they mentioned Kryptonite. I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of funny.
I like
The
when they
DC.
do that.
Like a crossover.
The DC crossover.
Yeah, but I
Maybe
feel
we'll
like
see Batman
Kryptonite
in
has
this movie.
transcended comic books, right? It's just like a.
I don't think we'd see that in Feige.
Most
I don't
people,
think Feige would
most
allow
people who
that.
say that's my
He would
kryptonite
smack
probably
that up.
don't know that it's from Superman.
It
I
always,
would
It's
wager
from
to
the
say.
song.
it honestly triggers me when in the Marvel movies when they mention stuff about Star Wars. Don't like it either. Those shouldn't be movies
Yeah.
in their world. They should be leaving
Why?
that door. They should be leaving
Why
that.
should Star Wars not?
They
It's
should
like
be-
the biggest like
Because
nerd cult.
they own them
culture
both,
thing
and they
open.
should be leaving that door open in case they ever go fucking bankrupt and they want to make a Marvel Star Wars movie, okay? But
They'll
you know
fucking
what?
do it anyway, and you'll go still
But
see
they,
it.
I will, but they can't do it. You know why? Because Captain America has it on his fucking list. Oh, I gotta see the OG.
Yeah,
trilogy.
but then in episode 9, they can mention the fucking Marvel movies.
No, God, I hate that type of shit. I don't like any of that. I don't like pulp culture references when it's not like a Deadpool sort of thing. If it's
Spider-Man.
about other geek related stuff.
Tom
Never
Holland,
been my deal.
Spider-Man. Those pop
Deadpool
culture
just has
references.
plot armor or something? What is this?
Because that's his gimmick, is to be poppy and pulp culture and,
Poppy.
you know, breaking the fourth wall. And you're not Superman, you know.
This
Right,
man.
actually-
You're Spider-Man.
Wasn't Riot attached to Deadpool at one point?
I'm sure he was.
Okay.
Deadpool's done everything. Deadpool has
Everyone's
a duck.
been attached to it.
He's a duck, okay.
Deadpool has like too many things of himself.
When I
But
saw
that's the point.
the first symbiotes in those little jars, I was kind of hoping to see more in this movie. Like when I saw
More
the yellow
jars?
one. Yeah, the little jar. They're in like thermoses. Crack the
Thermi.
thermos.
Thermoses.
Thermos. Or thermoside?
Thermi.
Thermine.
Thermatus.
Thermatus. Yeah, that was my one thing. I was kind of hoping to see more symbiotes because I just love me some symbiotes.
Yeah.
I realized I didn't talk about Eddie Brock, his banter, the girl,
Wait, what?
Which girl? Which
the
band?
girlfriend.
What girl?
The girlfriend. I
What
realized that I
girl?
actually did not get to join in those conversations.
Oh,
Yeah, you were
that's
zoned
not
out.
our fault. You gotta speak up, my
This
man.
conversation changed way too fast.
You know what I think about that too, Rick?
The whole line back to
I had to do that. I'm sorry. I didn't know the clip was gonna be that long. I thought it was gonna be a bit more
Not
snappy.
a single thumbs down. That's how good that
Let's
is.
get a thumbs up right there.
Let's get it
42.
first.
The cheat. There you go.
You know Eddie Brock? He was pretty good in this movie.
We're like going back to non-spoilers.
You better go in depth on this.
Yeah.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
I really enjoyed though the banter between him and Venom. I found all of it just hit it out of the
Oh,
park. I
100%.
loved when he'd be like, "Oh, I got a parasite," and Venom would be like, "Parasite."
That was fun. Pretty.
And
funny.
I just like so much of the banter just throughout this. It just gave me like flashbacks, like when I did that trailer and I changed my voice to all the Venom. Like
when we were walking out,
redubbed
and when you were talking about splicing the Spider-Man 3
Splice.
monument with this one, I was like, Taylor's gonna do a full voiceover of it.
I've been-
Honestly,
I've
like,
I've been honestly thinking about it.
evil laugh. Insert
No, like legit, it would take a long time, but I think it would be worth it to actually redo the whole Venom movie with my voice as Venom. I think it'd be so worth it.
Like as Eddie Brock and Venom, or just
Not Eddie
Venom?
Brock.
just
I
Venom.
get Travis to redo Eddie Brock's voice.
Why?
I could do Eddie Brock.
Why do I
Eddie Brock?
do?
He could be the love interest character,
I'm Stanley.
and then you could be the villain, Kirkland.
I could be a good.
Yeah, I think you could make it a lot more fun.
I'll do my Predator laugh.
I think the
Tyler,
villain-
Tyler Breaks gonna be the neighbor with the loud music. Just because they
Oh, turn
he's
on
got
right
my
now.
hair.
I could picture him.
That scene reminded me like a carbon copy of the fucking Mask. Jim Carrey's The Mask when he has that old lady neighbor who's always loud with the TV, and then when he's the Mask, he goes back later and like shoots her and like he's jumping around. They just ripped that off.
I don't remember that scene whatsoever.
Go watch The Mask. Great movie. Way better.
When you were mentioning the first time he mentions the parasite, I like the scene when he was walking by and he looks in the window and he sees Venom.
That was
I thought
good.
I thought that was cool.
So I wonder if that's like every mirror he goes to.
Well, it's
No,
a
just-
mental thing, right?
Yeah.
That's a mental thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like the girlfriend.
Just believes him.
I-
Now you tell me it's not a mental thing.
He wrote the script.
I like the girlfriend. I thought
Oh,
she
dear.
Venom was like
Fiance.
She Venom.
Ex-fiance.
ex-fiance.
Former fiance.
Her name is
Yeah.
Venom.
It's complicated.
Her name is Venom.
I was gonna say Vanette.
Vanette.
but
I was gonna
it
say
doesn't work.
Vanita.
Vanita.
Vanita. No, I thought Vanita
Venom.
was pretty wild. I thought there's probably gonna be a lot of like keyboard warriors are gonna love that scene.
What scene?
Of like Venom,
Making out with Venom?
Vanita.
Venom. You know.
Venomita.
Yeah.
No, people are gonna hate
Someone's
that
gonna
scene.
splice
I
a
don't
scene
know, I
of
think there's
Venom
gonna be
making out with
some-
fucking
There's gonna be some
the
weird
guy from Alien
stuff.
Covenant.
There might be weird. There might be weird stuff, but people are gonna hate that scene. I don't think they want Eddie Brock kissing a symbiote like that.
I did not. I would not have predicted to see that in this movie. No, in 100 years.
I
would
wasn't
never-
expecting to see a female Venom, honestly.
No, I wasn't expecting that either. But yeah, no, I think she was.
You knew.
I had a feeling, just the way they set it up with the dog and everything, and like I didn't know the kiss was coming, but you know,
I didn't get that Venom was gonna take her over. I got like the look on the dog. I thought, okay, she's aware. I feel like both are gonna like be together, and it wouldn't put it. I don't put it past me. I honestly thought that we would have got the dog talking, like in Venom's
Dude, that's
voice.
what I said. I thought the pooch.
So
was
really
I
the
thought
mask.
Pooch was the one saving him.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I thought she was pretty funny at times and everything.
You don't sound all that passionate about her.
I thought she was funny.
Funny at
think, you know,
times and
she-
all that.
she-
It was
Uh,
fine. I might call her back. You know.
She came off as a very strong, independent female,
Oh,
role model.
God.
for her
Role
teens.
model.
Oh God.
Roll
Let's
model.
not go that far.
I mean, she was the one paying the bills. Clearly, she's a lawyer.
No, she's doing pro bono. So
At
that-
the end of the
At
movie,
the
she's
end.
doing pro bono.
She
You're a
had
good
nice-
person, Anne.
That one thing I took from that scene, she had nice, clean shoes.
Oh.
Clean shoes.
I liked her attire in this movie.
Yeah.
It's funny how Eddie Brock, when the symbiote kind of goes back in, he's just looking sweaty and greasy and all over the
That
place.
bugged me so
But
much.
when Venom like left her and went on to Eddie, her hair was perfectly
she was looking
straight.
prime.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't. I
Oh, it
looked-
was.
no, in
Because the
back,
first
it
thing
was
I
messed
looked,
up.
I was looking at that hair.
I
and
saw
like,
straight hair.
She took a straightener to that
She looked
hair.
at split
As an
ends.
hair connoisseur, at the back sheet, they messed it up.
I did not even
know.
notice what. I don't even remember what her hair
When you get the
looked like
steel
in that scene.
case, text me when you're at that part of the movie. I'll walk over and say, there it is, and then I'm going to walk back to my
Another
house.
quote on the front of the Blu-ray. Loved her hair.
Yeah.
Loved it, loved it, loved it.
My guy was in her hair.
Oh no.
No, the show just got X-rated. Delete those tweets.
X-rated.
I don't know why this just popped in my head, but I feel like when you get a movie and it has on the front like 10 out of 10 from IGN or like whatever kind of stuff like that, like
When you get
loved
a
it, loved it,
movie
loved
that
it.
says 10 out of 10 on IGN, no, I don't know that experience.
I just
Their
feel
stupid
like-
reviews.
you can just see on the front of the movie the steel case back to formula by Travis Smell or something like that. I don't know, it's popped in my head.
I'm gonna use that in a well term, like saying, "Oh, they should go back to formula," meaning like they should have just started over with this movie and not maybe done it. You
The
know?
DC
Add it to your vocabulary.
Back to formula, Snyder. Back to formula.
Snyder.
Oh.
Anything else?
Sir Snyder.
What was the thing we talked about after the girl? Was it the villain? Yeah, it was the
Sure.
villain.
We tried to, but there's not much to say. Do you have more to say?
Yeah, no, I thought he definitely portrayed a good overall villain, and I'll say like, I really. Why are you nodding your head?
what?
That's the most non-spoilery thing.
Yeah.
Portrayed a good
I thought he
overall
portrayed a-
villain.
Well, I played a good overall villain.
No, I liked Riot once Riot got into the picture more and got onto him or whatever. I liked how see when he was in the lab, not the lab, he was in the shuttle launch or whatever, and the guy knew that something was wrong and he was ready to like abort the sequence. I liked how it was just kind of like,
That was awful.
no, I liked it 'cause
That dramatic scene and then pan to the background and the Dutch.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
gonna happen here? And then he
Oh,
gets-
golly.
that was so bad.
I kind of enjoyed it. I liked how Riot like took initiation and like dealt with the situation, but I liked how then Venom was like, Betty was like, "Oh, can we take this guy?" And Venom's like, "Oh, probably not." You know, he's a team leader, and I'm like, I'm a loser. Like I liked.
We haven't
I
talked
hated
about
it.
that yet. I hated that because two things. One, I just didn't like Venom calling himself a loser. I don't like now that there's this backstory where Venom the symbiote is on his planet and he's like getting picked on by a bunch of other symbiotes. That's when the end of this movie really started to go downhill. And I didn't like his motivation for helping Eddie because it made
That
no
was
sense.
very abrupt.
Why did you change? Because of you, Eddie. And then why? Like, what did Eddie do? No.
Well, no, I think
hang
it's-
on. They did not give a specific reason him wanting to hang around Earth so he doesn't get taken over. Oh, I like it here. He's not even been there that long. They've not even gone through that
He
much
likes the lights.
experience. Like, he likes the lights. Like, I did not buy that at all. That just felt like, hey, Spider-Man is not in this movie or this world, so we have no reason for the symbiote to stick around. So, okay, he's just gonna decide, yeah, I'm good now. Didn't make any sense with his motivation.
Well, it's
yeah.
it's like I don't know, because he got to Earth, and yes, he obviously liked in the brief time that doesn't really make much sense, but at the end of the day, it goes to show like he has this unlimited food source that he can tap into. Why would he want to share that with anyone else? At the end, to his core, he's still being a villain. He wants, even against his own, race, this is his world that he wants, and he knows that he has a host he can work with, but he gets unlimited access to all of this. And if all the other symbiotes come, then he's at the bottom of the chain, and it's fight for survival, for food and everything against these other symbiotes. I think it made
I think that's how
sense.
you took it. I don't think they did a good job of displaying
I thought
that
he
on
said that
screen.
too.
I
He
don't
said
know
like
if
he
he
doesn't
did.
want the other symbiotes to come here.
But to
because
me,
of
I
that.
thought it was because he didn't want them to
He
like
didn't want them to bully him again.
and destroy the planet.
I didn't
Which,
get
mean,
I didn't get destroy the planet.
I think
like
he
that,
literally
'cause
said something about that.
I got the vibe that he just didn't want them to like come and like kill and eat everyone.
But, wait for the steelbook.
But I liked how when he's like Riot's got like a bunch of cool shit that you've never even seen before, and then he does something and hits Venom and Brock, and Venom's like, see, just like that or something like that. Like I liked how he was
Nice
just
breakdown.
going for it. So yeah,
Very good.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Riot. I liked his weapons. 'Cause it's kind of like the Carnage route where he's got like the axes, the axi.
And
The
Mark.
The access to
But yeah, they gotta go back to formula, man.
Back to formula.
Can we put that in the Golden Geeks as a
Yeah.
meme scene? Except it didn't even come out this year. Do we have
2001.
anything? 2002, Kirk.
Oh,
Come on.
sorry.
Do we have anything to shout out here
Fake
before we
news.
get to the
fake
post-
news shout out.
You know, there's a lot of fake news out there. That's a line in this
There's a
movie,
lot of
folks.
fake news out there. I like that line a lot.
Just fucking go date yourself, Venom. Anything else before we talk about this post-credit scene?
If this movie does not exist in the MCU because there's that character who is his boss, who is also the character who is in Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Remember that? I forget who he played. He
Yeah,
he just hangs out at Pop's shop.
Yeah,
or
he's Pop's
something.
friend, and you're also wrong, though.
No.
Yeah. No, you are wrong, because Luke Cage takes place in the MCU universe,
Yeah.
and it has an actress in that is also in Civil War, and she's playing two different characters. Boom.
Does it?
Nerd cred.
Can
Yep.
you prove that?
Yeah, 100%. Mariah Stokes
So
is
prove-
played by a different
Stokes.
character in Civil War. She's the one that hands Tony
No,
the
she
phone
has
of,
a
like,
twin sister.
killed- no,
You didn't know
that's-
this?
they
Look
did-
it up. Her name is Mariah Stokes.
You know what, Dylan?
Venom.
Damn it! It's
Yeah,
way
yeah.
too quiet. Like they got.
you gotta go back a little
In
bit more.
his face.
You gotta go
Yeah.
back.
Anything else here?
Girdle in the back.
No, let's just
Just laughing
Why
at
is he laughing? We gotta break down the scene one day.
Let's go back to Formula.
Well, he's happy because he doesn't like Norman Osborn.
I
He
know.
doesn't like
right.
wants us to
For him to
program the
speak, That's an
show.
after 9 conversation.
You brought this up. You were the one that
I
started
know,
this.
but I'm getting sleepy.
Do we have
I gotta work
anything
on that.
else? I have nothing else. I've had nothing else to add this past half an hour.
Post credits.
You guys?
I'm ready for the post credit, man.
I loved Eminem in this movie. His music is great.
That song's growing on me, I'm not gonna lie. First time I heard it, not a fan. Growing on me.
Did you know in the year 2000, Song of the Year,
Where is this going?
Eminem lost to the Great Steely Dan.
I did not know that.
On their after their 20-year hiatus. So get bopped,
Man,
Eminem.
what a shame.
Damn.
Just
There actually is there's a song on the album called "What a Shame." Good one. That was a fucking excellent word choice, Travis. Good
Just
job.
gotta do make
Great
a diss
song as
track
well.
about
gotta
Steely
put
Dan
up
now.
with Dylan talking about this overrated band all the time, with like 3 hits. Post-credit scene. So we're not gonna talk about the Spider-Verse stuff. We'll probably talk about it in the news. So we get introduced to Carnage, which I had a feeling
Yes, Cassie.
because I like the way they put in the movie. He's like, oh, I got a hot scoop, hot interview. So he walks in. I'm loving this scene. He's at this prison. We see Cletus in
Like a
the
little
cell.
The message.
Yeah, he's just cutting me off. But yeah, I love that. I was trying to set the stage, but you see his hair in the background, and it's the red curly hair. I'm like, I'm digging this. Like Kirkland said, you see the blood. You spell out "Welcome, Eddie." I'm like, I'm loving this. This feels like back to formula. He spelled it. It's connected. It's all connected.
Cut the check.
Back to formula. This scene is what turned me off from wanting a Venom 2. I know Dylan's gonna have his case of it's just one scene. This was a fucking bloody awful scene from start to finish once we get introduced to Woody Harrelson. The hair, completely awful. And from the back,
Dylan.
That was a
that
fucking
was
wig
a
if I've
fucking,
ever seen
yeah.
it.
Like, from the
Holy
back it
shit.
looked okay, and I was so stoked. I was like, oh, Woody's bald, they're not going to do that. It looked so out of place, and this is where the older thing to me turns, where this dude for sure is going to have gray hair at this point. He's not going to have this fucking red, vibrant hair going on. I did not like the way he was playing Cletus Cassidy, because to me, and maybe this is because it's going with the theme of this Venom universe, this felt like a parody of Cletus. This felt like I'm playing a crazy
Sideshow
person.
Bob, man.
Woody Harrelson can play a crazy person. Go watch, oh, what the fuck is that Oliver Stone movie? You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna
Zombieland.
No, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up after. But he's a great actor. But between the way he was acting, his look, and then his dialogue, which is like, when I get out of here, and the stuff he's doing is like, there's gonna be carnage, and it was awful. I was getting like Joker Jared Leto vibes, and I love Woody Harrelson. And like Dylan says, it is just one scene, but it doesn't matter, Dylan. I know this fucking character. That's not Cletus. And if that's my first impression of a character, that soured me right there. That's where I don't want to see that.
Okay, but if you're putting it on Woody Harrelson's acting, it's not like he has anything to go off of, right? He has one shitty line to work with, and that's it. That's all he has to build his character, right? He doesn't have anything. He can't even move. He's just sitting down in his chair.
He's in a straight
He has one scene.
I'm not saying that's his fault. I'm saying that's director's fault. In that case, just show him that and get me excited. Do the Thanos. Thanos had no dialogue at the end of Avengers. You just saw him. If you just saw a jail cell with, you're gonna go interview a guy, and you saw the jail cell and it had Cleese Cassidy, and you just saw him from a distance with that red hair, fans are gonna know, because that scene with that dialogue is awful. I don't care how big of a Venom boy you are, that scene is fucking brutal. So I can't hear anybody defend this dialogue got me excited. Like, it made no sense. Like, why? Why the fuck does he have to this is where it feels like old school comic book movies. Why does he have to say the word carnage? Why does he have to why do we have to do that?
I know it's good. There's a lot of people the only reason I knew he was Carnage is because he had the red hair and I was just piecing it together. But other than that, I would have had no clue who this guy was.
Yeah, but I feel like a good example for that is like the end credit scene for Infinity War, when all they showed was the Captain Marvel symbol. Yeah. I didn't know what the fuck that was when I first saw it. I asked Travis, and then they could have done the exact same thing, where it just showed the red hair, and then even if he just said "Hey Eddie."
That was the problem. It felt too much hey, this is Carnage. You get it? You get
Carnage, exactly. Shove it down your throat.
For the noobs.
I don't know why I searched up Captain Marvel at all, but yeah, that right there got me not excited, and I don't want to. I know it's just one line. I don't think, and I never thought Woody was a good choice for that role. Woody's a phenomenal actor, but I've never seen him being Cletus. Cletus should. It's not the age thing. It's just the way he speaks, and even the southernness to him. That's not Cletus at all. Cletus is. I know he already played a serial killer, but they have Michael C. Hall that exists in this world. That's your fucking guy right there. Or fucking Jim Carrey. That's your guy right there. Woody Harrelson is just a weird pick. So I'm not down for this.
I saw him after his solo performance. We gotta get this guy in on the Sony deal.
Great. And Natural Born Killers, by the way. Watch that. That's where he can't play a great killer. So maybe you can pull it off, but that was also fucking 30 years ago. And
That's a long time ago. Yeah. He was a young man at that point in time.
I don't really have anything to add what you said. I agree with what you said.
No one else? Anyone else? Taylor, you love the movie. Did you get excited by that scene?
He did.
I got excited.
He put two.
I'm excited to see Carnage.
He put his formula in there.
Yeah.
It's nice because you can go to Halloween Alley, place like this. Hey, come on now.
You can't even hear
fucking formula bullshit.
I read the list.
What did you say about Halloween Alley?
I was gonna say you can go to Halloween Alley and get that wig if you want to be Carnage now.
I think that was honestly the biggest part was that hair. That hair
was some
bad.
Fucking wild hair.
That was beard level.
That hair tells a story in and of itself. And you can't say that about most haircuts. So
it looked so bad. I know it's just one day, but
it looked really bad.
A live action anime hair. That's how bad that was.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Fit the movie, I guess.
Yeah, and that's why I don't leave it at that. Let's just remember. There could have been Carnage one day, but why did he say Carnage? I've said everything I need to say about this movie. I'm gonna give this movie 6 back to formulas out of 10 back to formulas.
6 formulas.
Yeah. If I was to take out my enjoyment level, this would probably be in that 3 to 4 range, but the passing is a pass. I enjoyed it, and there's some stuff I genuinely liked. Action, some of the stuff they did with Eddie Brock just solely without Venom, and then kind of the buddy cop stuff they had going on. The stuff I really liked, and then the stuff I didn't, I really didn't. So yeah, give it a 6 out of 10.
Nice. When I was driving here, I was running through the movie in my head, and I was thinking of the review. My first initial thought was the soft 6.
A soft
But
6.
after we were talking about it, I started thinking more about the scenes that I actually really enjoyed and the entertainment that I got out of it. Solid laughs, genuine laughs. I love me some Venom, so I'm gonna give it a soft 7.
Oh, I thought he was gonna go a hard 6 instead of a soft 6.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that's what he was changing. Or even though it's hard 6.5, but a 7.
No, soft 7. Yeah, for sure.
Soft serve 7.
When the Atom app came up, I was like, you know what?
7.
I'm gonna go bold. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars.
What?
Oh yeah. I want people to go see it, man. Give them money.
You should put a 5.
4 out of 5?
That's a big
You
command.
gave it a 3, didn't
That's
you?
equivalent
Yeah,
to
but a 3 because I wanted to at least pass it. To me, if there's a 0.5, I would have given it a 2.5 out of 5. But a 4 out of 5? Wow. That's
Each their
bold.
own, man.
That's bold.
I ain't no movie critic. I'm just a simple Joe.
You are.
You are a movie critic.
Fortunately, he's right.
You get paid very
Soft
little.
4.
Yeah, we get paid. What'd you say?
Soft 4.
Okay. I think you said soft forums randomly. I'm like, what?
Soft forms.
That's a long story.
Alright.
Soft
Let's
forms.
go back to formula.
I feel like you guys might be outdoing this week.
I got it.
No,
I
I
got it.
Space it out.
You gotta space it out.
Oh yeah, this
Go
movie
ahead.
did a lot of good things for me. I'd say, you know, like I said earlier, I totally wasn't under the realization oh, I'm going to see a movie tonight. And that movie is Venom.
Oh, here we go.
So, you know, like
The
Oh,
backstory.
fuck you giving us back to formula. Sure, there's Dylan.
That was
popping up.
tasteful for me. I'm so sorry, Taylor.
it's okay. I was not expecting your elbow to just swing around.
Me neither.
over there.
Just knock him out.
But yeah, no, the movie overall, I really had a good time. I really enjoyed it. It just pulled me into the story.
And into the symbiote.
And into the symbiote. Those 3D
Into the
glasses were fantastic. Into the hair.
Those 3D glasses were
And
fantastic.
the hair. Can you at least agree with us that the hair is awful?
I love that.
No, I
The
think
scene?
her
I think
hair
that
was
was
No, I'm
perfect.
talking about Woody Harrelson's scene.
I
Come
didn't
on,
like
you
the
say.
hair. I'll give
Okay.
you that. It was
I did like the
definitely-
hair.
Oh no! Can you imagine 2 hours of him running around?
I
with that
can't
hair?
wait for that movie.
That you
Oh,
know,
fuck.
when you look at some paintings and they're just very much this one tone, but they have one color that stands out and you can't take your eyes off it. It's the focal point
It's the
of
Woody
that art
Harrelson
piece. That was the
redhead.
Woody Harrelson wig.
And the
That
thing is
the
with
whole
hair,
part.
like if you look at ginger hair, as someone that has a ginger daughter, everybody's hair, if you look at all their hair and normal hair, it's not just one solid color. Like there's mixes of it. His is just some solid fucking
Oh,
weird,
man.
but it's
Spray
not
paint.
red. It's like purpley red. Like oh.
Yeah, that was it was a little intense, blinding, but you got the 3D glasses on. Some UV protection, but overall I really
Yeah,
enjoyed this
that's-
movie. I can't point out really any huge flaws with it. There's little things I can nitpick and critique, but the movie itself was just a great time. I thought it was so much fun, and you know, if they make the second one R, then you know I'm okay with rated R.
Where's that coming? They're not gonna make the second one rated R if they made this PG-13.
One
They can try.
But I just that whole fight scene where he grabs a smoke grenade and just breaks off in his
That's
hand,
cool.
smiles,
I like
and he
that
bites
scene.
it in his mouth and explodes and he smiles. I love that. And then I love the stealth, you know, he's going around just grabbing the guys and then they start whipping flashbangs at him and his suit vibrates. That was fantastic. They did a phenomenal
I really
job
like
with
that
that.
scene.
It was such a good fight scene. Even the little glimpse of the thermal, which took them way too long to fucking realize to use thermal for fuck's sakes, but I thought it was awesome. So I'm really excited to see what this movie is going to lead to in a sequel and all that sort of stuff.
I don't think the sequel's guaranteed yet. We gotta see. How
I
it
hope
does.
so.
I like badass and thermal. I just gotta show
Yeah,
that
very
was
much
really cool.
badass. This movie is easily gonna be a 9 out of 10.
Easily.
I thought it was awesome.
Soft,
and
hard,
I'm
or just
gonna.
Flaccid? What's
I think
going
hard.
on?
Oh, this was a
because it's
solid Brock for me.
Rock hard.
Fair enough, man.
You know, I'm probably gonna see this in theaters again. I'll probably get take my father to go
And you
see
won't get Cinemia, but you're gonna go pay to see Venom again.
I'll probably go see Venom again, but I
Contracts.
probably won't pay to
Cheap
go see Venom
Tuesdays.
again.
And I wanna support the film.
Attaboy.
You
Yeah.
do if you have Cinemia. The proceeds that go towards the movie.
How much of the proceeds actually go?
All of them, double.
I don't believe
Double.
that.
Triple.
I read that fine print. They can increase those fees anytime, you know, those
No,
bastards.
that's only in the U.S. Go Canada, go.
Go Canada, go.
I guess it's my time to send us off.
Your time to shine, but
It was a fun movie, man. I enjoyed it. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's very simple, very basic movie. It's very bad in some ways, but damn that I have fun watching it. I can't wait to watch some of these scenes back. Just when it hits Netflix, I'm just gonna skip to some of these 80s scenes and I'm just gonna watch them, take some clips. Like, oh, there's some great moments in there. Oh fuck, we said it all. Let's get out of here. It's late.
it is late. I got a long drive home.
Taylor, send us home.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with your
Oh,
internet
we weren't doing
connection.
this anymore. Thought we were just cutting.
Oh no, because I'm doing it quick now. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's
With
your
internet
problem. Is people
connection.
keep cutting him off.
Nah, fuck. At least we're not going back to
You
formula.
like that meta?
Back to formula. With your internet connection, you can find us in the search bar, ladies and gentlemen. Go onto your Facebook and type in GeekVerse Space Podcast. It's fantastic. Find all of our links and cool stuff, an awesome cover photo. Just a heads up, don't be alarmed if the GeekVersePodcast.com isn't working. It's not working.
It needs to go back to formula.
It does. We need to go back to formula.
Don't be alarmed, that's not working. It's not working.
Don't be alarmed by that dead body. It's a dead body.
Eventually, we will get it back, come back to formula.
No timeline.
But it'll come back to life and fruition. Thank you.
Fruit.
It'll come back to fruit. It'll come back to life. You know. So
Back to
just
formula.
hold
Just
on to your
say-
horses, and we're working on it.
Hold on to your horse, please.
This is my horse.
Horse testicles.
Just subscribe. YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podway,
Stitcher.
SoundCloud. Leave us a like or review. Head over to Patreon, get stuff. If you think this movie is came from the 2000s, go check out Daredevil. We just reviewed the 2003 Daredevil. That is a spicy review.
Bullseye.
More peanuts,
Any more peanuts?
please. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, just subscribe. That's when we'll be back. Thank you very much for tuning in. I promise you, the next time you hear from us, it will not be boring.
Adios then.
Have to end it like that. Because I'm sure we'll forget about it by next week.
That was good.
Good time.